Welcome to this presentation titled Linking Data Through P20 WIN. This presentation is designed to help those interested understand why P20 WIN is necessary, how Connecticut's Preschool through 20 and Workforce Information Network, P20 WIN, operates, and how data is maintained while data are linked through P20 WIN. So how do we improve education programs in Connecticut? How do we reduce the achievement gap? Ensure kids are finishing high school ready for what's next. Develop education programs to support local work opportunities. Know what doesn't work and identify programs that do work. Can we accomplish these things and maintain student privacy? Yes. So how do we begin? We need information about students, programs, and outcomes. Without information, we are in the dark. Our children and students are important. We shouldn't guess about what they need. We need some information to understand what needs improving and what works. The challenges are that information that is needed is located in different places, and there is no common identifier for linking data between these places. The Preschool through 20 and Workforce Information Network, P20 WIN, provides Connecticut with a secure process for linking data while maintaining individual privacy. Linking data while maintaining student privacy, keeping data secure, abiding by all state and federal laws, especially the Federal Unemployment and Insurance Law, state law governing the use and protection of unemployment insurance data, FERPA, HIPAA, and the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act at all times. But before P20 WIN can be of use, information is gathered by state agencies. Agencies in Connecticut serve students and individuals, and these agencies keep their own data for administrative and program improvement purposes. As of today, there are 5 Connecticut entities with completed agreements that enable the linkage of data through P20 WIN. They are the State Department of Education, the Board of Regents for Higher Education, the Department of Labor, the University of Connecticut, and the Connecticut Conference of Independent Colleges. Their data are secured in each entity's respective data warehouse or repository. No data about individuals moves from these secure repositories within these entities until a rigorous review process is complete and legal data sharing agreements are signed. The process includes rigorous review, documentation, and agreements. It includes documenting the audit or evaluation that's needed, identifying exactly what data are required, and documenting why each data element is necessary for the specific audit or evaluation to occur, establishing individuals who will conduct the audit or evaluation as authorized representatives of a state education authority, reviewing and approving or denying the use of data by senior staff responsible for that data, and completing data sharing agreements established with the approval of the Connecticut State Attorney General's office. The process includes tests. Is the data request an audit or evaluation of publicly funded education programs? Will the audit or evaluation be of benefit to a state education authority? Has a request been reviewed for conformity to law by the Department of Labor if wage or employment data are needed? And is the request and paperwork allowable by FERPA, HIPAA, the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, state and federal law? The data sharing agreements bind why the data can be used, what data can be used, who can conduct the analysis, how long the data can be used, and when the data will be destroyed. The data sharing agreements also restrict. There can be no disclosure to anyone other than those approved to conduct the analysis. No use of data for any other purpose. No use of data to identify any individuals. No release of any data about individuals to anyone. No names, social security numbers, identifiers, or dates of birth in the data set being analyzed. So how does P20 WIN work? After the documentation, rigorous review, and paperwork are complete, only a limited amount of information will be linked. Let's step through an example. There are currently a few entities in the state that have existing data sharing agreements to link data with each other through P20 WIN. Each agency has its own secure repository of data needed to conduct normal business operations. Typically, not all entities need to link data at the same time. For the purpose of this example, imagine that an auditor evaluation has been approved, the appropriate review has been completed, and the necessary data sharing agreements are in place. Only those agencies whose data are needed for the audit or evaluation actually link their data. In this example, we'll focus on just 2 agencies for simplicity. The process of identifying data for the audit or evaluation begins within the security of each agency. Each agency develops data files that contain the data necessary and approved and documented in the data sharing agreement for a specific audit or evaluation. Let's look even more closely at what happens within one agency. A file is created. That file is split into 2 parts. One part of the file contains data fields that are needed to match records. For example, first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, state assigned ID, or a social security number. The second part contains the rest of the required fields for the audit or evaluation. No personal identifiers are in the second part of the file. It could contain demographic information, course information, test scores, or other data needed for an audit or evaluation. A meaningless number is then attached to each record, and this becomes a fake ID for conducting the match and the key to linking data in the future without the use of the personal identifiers. The meaningless number or fake ID is not retained for use in the future. It's not retained in the student file, and it is specific to an approved audit or evaluation. And this process happens simultaneously within each agency whose data are required for a given audit or evaluation. The data files are created, the files are split to separate the personal identifiers for matching from the rest of the data needed for analysis. Meaningless fake IDs are attached, and now the data are ready to be linked. The linking process occurs at the Connecticut Department of Labor. The Department of Labor was entrusted with this part of the process due to their long history of safeguarding the identities, social security numbers, and wages for all individuals employed in Connecticut. And only the files that are necessary for linking the data are sent to the Department of Labor to be linked, and they are sent via a secure file transfer process. The files are processed by a software program that can match records when shared identifiers are missing. This is called probabilistic data matching. And the result is a matrix of the fake identifiers, a new group number, and the original personal identifiers that were used to conduct the match. The group ID brings together the records for the same individual. If John Smith was served by both agencies, then the information from the 2 agencies will be brought together into the same group. You can see in the first row that Jim Apple was served by both organizations. And the same applies to Sue Scrim in row 3 and Meg Knott in row 5. In some cases, there will be no match. Let's reorganize the visual so that the group IDs and the fake ID can be seen together. The 3 left columns create a matrix of meaningless group IDs and fake IDs. And the personal identifiers used to link the data are then destroyed. And the matrix remains. It does not contain any identifying information or any student record information. This matrix is then sent via secure file transfer to the authorized representative who has been authorized to conduct the audit or evaluation. But what is an authorized representative going to do with a table of meaningless group numbers and fake IDs? Remember that each agency created 2 files, one for matching with identifiers and one for analysis without identifiers. We processed the first half to create the matrix of fake identifiers. Next, the second set of files will be used. The second file that contains only the data for analysis, no identifiers, is also sent to the authorized representative. And now the audit or evaluation can begin. Analysis for the audit or evaluation is conducted, and there are no identifiers in the data sets. Only redacted student records are present, and there's no biometric data or health data that is unnecessary for the evaluation. After analysis is finished, additional review is required before any information can be released for use. And this review ensures that the final data tables or report contain only aggregate data. All remaining data used during the analysis are destroyed. The audit or evaluation is now complete, and the information can be used to improve education programs. Thank you for watching this presentation. The P20 WIN team welcomes your feedback. If you have questions or comments, please contact me, the P20 WIN manager. I'm Jan Keeney at 860-723-0236 or KIEHNEJ at ct.edu. Thank you for watching.